How's my Quinny? How's my Quinny? Quinny, my little alien. I love you. I love you, pretty girl. Hey guys, giving you an update on Mama Pock. Quinny, you gonna help me or are you gonna run off? I know you'll help, Jerry. I know you'll help, Jerry. You're always so helpful. Quinny! Hi, Miracle. Good news, she's out of surgery, so that's good. Usually I'd feel a lot better about things if than when we're out of surgery. She's doing well. She's got a little diarrhea, which we can assume is because the pressure's all gone, right? There's nothing kinked off anymore. The little nodule thing, the little tumor or little mass that they found by her anal gland is she's almost positive it's a cyst, nothing to worry about, but we're sending it off anyway. So here's the problem, and we don't know why this is happening, and it could be because this has been going on for 6 weeks. Remember, she had this bout of this 6 weeks ago, and then it cleared up completely, like everything was fine. But even if that cleared up, hi Sadie, baby. We don't know for sure if the bladder was still going through the problems it's having now, leading up to where we're at now. So where I'm going with that is when she got open and looked at the bladder, and they were able to move everything up just fine as far as that goes. When she got in there to look at it, the bottom of the bladder where the urethra is was she calls very unhappy. And she referenced, remember I told you on the CT scan that the bladder actually, parts of it looked very thickened or whatever. So, that'll be. The bladder, that part of the bladder was actually, well, at first she said like purple and then almost black. And then finally I asked her, you know, necrotic. And thank you so much for that, Sadie. Thank you so much, baby. We're gonna pick up where we left off. Sadie just tried to jump up on the table with her toy. So anyway, necrotic, yeah. Ouch, honey. So what she did was she cut that away. And then of course, I guess pulled everything tighter, stitched it up. You know, I don't know what effect that's gonna have. This doctor has really impressed me a lot. You know, you just sit there and think you know everything, you've dealt with it before. Not that you could ever be a surgeon, but you're like, okay, I know enough about this. And then you realize how little you actually know when you get into these situations. So, you know, if she wasn't comfortable doing that, she wouldn't have done it, but we're sending that off to be biopsied. And, you know, I asked her why, and she told me that because of all the things wrong with the bladder, because this is still very odd to her, and I asked her what that meant. And she gave me another example where they go to stitch the bladder wall to the abdominal wall. I guess the normal stitching is to go through just a couple layers, because there's 4 layers in the bladder, apparently. 4 layers of, I don't want to say skin, but, you know, layers of whatever, the outer barrier. And they go through a couple layers, and they go through a couple layers of the abdomen, so you don't poke through anything. Well, she did a little incision through those 2 layers, and literally the stitch itself popped right through. That made her very concerned. The way, and forgive me, I was driving when she's talking to me. She had to do another method of doing this where she stitched it in numerous places. I guess maybe not in this area that was so delicate, I guess. But, you know, basically she's telling me that combination of things. That, where she normally would say afterward out of surgery, she's got a 99% chance. You know, she's done so many of these that she's got a 99% chance of everything's gonna be great. That percentage has gone down to about 75%, and that's still 3 out of 4, so we're good. But the concerns are one of 2 things. Either her bladder, as she said, was unhappy, meaning it was distended and strained for so long that it could have been circulation could have been cut off or whatever. You guys understand that, like, and that's why this all happened to the discolored part and the thickened part. You know, and that'll all go away, or it could possibly be cancer. And I asked her immediately, I was like, wait a minute, you know, blood levels are fine, CT's fine, other than that little nodule thing, which we're pretty sure that's fine too. There's no evidence of cancer anywhere. You know, some heightened adrenal glands, a tiny bit, which we can address later, but that's the only thing. She's like, yes, but that doesn't mean that this couldn't be cancerous or whatever, which I understand. So we're gonna send that off just to be safe. She's not going to be able to be home for at least, because of how delicate she is and how, I guess, delicate the insides are, for at least, well, definitely tomorrow, most likely the next day at least. So We won't be seeing Pac home for a while, and that's fine. At this point, I'm of the mindset, whereas I was keeping her out before to save money, you keep her there as long as we need to so that she's calm. Whatever we got to do to get her home safe and sound. So that's where we stand with Mama Pac. It's not great news. It is great news. She's out. But now we got to worry about what the recovery is going to be, or if there's going to be complications down the road. These are not things I expected. I expected, hey, surgery fixes stuff, right? Not opens a can of worms, which the can of worms would be that something inside was already so jacked up that maybe surgery is not going to be the end of this story with her. So anyway, all of you guys that have been there from the start with me on this, thank you. This is just, it's very stressful. You guys know I take this hard. And we've been very fortunate lately not to have to deal with too many situations like this. So this one's got my kind of my full attention, so I can't keep my mind off of it, but that's why you guys are getting updates in real time. But anyway, thank you guys all for your support on this. You know, everything, but the financial, the emotional, the prayers. God, so much. I appreciate it. We all do around here. You know, like I said, Mama Pac is a staple here. She's an icon. She's a, you know, she's the glue. Like you know, she brings me back to the beginning where, you know, when Connie was here, and some of you newer folks don't know who Connie was. She kind of started this with me. She's a friend of mine. Her dog is the dog that kind of saved my life, that got me started on this. And I wish we were still on better terms, because you know, I'd love for her to go see Mama Pac. I know she cared about her a lot too. But anyway, so thank you guys so much, and I will give you any updates as we have them in the near future, and we'll get back to sharing the happiness. Speaking of which, right, little man? Right, my little tiny terror? I love you. That's my little guy. He turned out pretty good, didn't he? Well, he's ornery as hell. But he turned out pretty good overall. Thank you, guys.